Mr. Speaker, this matter is not new to this August House at all. At all. I recall that a similar statement was read in this House and a referral made to the Committee for Defense and Interior at a time when I served as a member, in fact, the ranking member. Mr. Speaker, the chair at the time, when the statement was read, actually instructed the committee to embark upon a tour of some selected countries within the sub-region to understudy the legal regime in those countries and make recommendations for adoption and implementation. Accordingly, Mr. Speaker, I recall that we visited Senegal and Niger, if my memory serves me right. Mr. Speaker, some of the useful findings we made when we visited Senegal in particular was that Senegal as a country which had in the past had issues to do with nomadic herdsmen and tensions arising between them and farmers, entered into bilateral arrangements. Bilateral agreements were struck between Senegal and countries where nomadic herdsmen usually would migrate in the course of the lean season. And some of those countries included Mauritania and Chad. So how did they do it? The government of Senegal has an agreement in place which requires the governments of Mauritania, Chad, where the nomads would normally come from, to notify the host state, which is in this case the state of Senegal. And once the notification is done, appropriate steps would be taken to properly host the herdsmen. And so the state of Senegal would make provision for the treatment of the herd. They will make provision for appropriate grazing areas, and that is where the concept of ranching becomes very, very crucial. In fact, as part of the bilaterals, the countries where the herds normally would originate sometimes pay in kind. They pay in kind. A number of the herd would normally be allocated as part of the payment in kind, and the government of Senegal would accept that readily. So at the end of the day, they know where to go to when the migration period arrives. They don't just move into Senegal and go to anywhere. I mean, ranches have been provided for, grazing fields have been allocated, and those fields are meant for grazing. So, Mr. Speaker, as a country which is affected by those tensions, we know there are frameworks in place. ECOWAS has a framework because the maker of the statement spoke about the adoption of a legal framework to deal with the problem. As a direct response, there is a framework in place. ECOWAS has a framework in place which deals with the question of transhumans and how they must be treated when they move into a host nation. But the problem is that implementation has become very difficult. In those circumstances, I think we must look beyond the legal framework provided for by ECOWAS and go into bilateral arrangements. So I would recommend that Ghana, for instance, should have a bilateral agreement with Burkina Faso. We need to have another bilateral with the Republic of Niger and Mali, where the heads normally come from.
Be guided by Order 93.5.
So, Mr. Speaker, I think I would like to commend the maker of the statement and to implore this Honorable House to take a second look at the report the committee actually came out with. It is there. I am sure if we come through the Hansard, we'll find it. We made very useful and critical recommendations.